think this is the actual trailer. And then we'll watch the breakdown as well. Sure. Yeah. I'll break it down on the second. I just wanna we're gonna watch through it together real quick. I don't know how I feel about this whole thing yet. I definitely don't like that animation, but or that. It's a bit weird. Yo, you want over here? Trying to come here? This is one of the most exciting parts about the new game, to be honest. The fact that they're bringing Megas back. Everyone's favorite mechanic in Pokemon that they've announced, or you know what I'm saying? Just the best, like, mechanic they've added to the game. Okay, let's just break it down. Let's break it down one piece at a time. First off, drip outfit. I'm not a fan of the green color, this like limey green, but overall, cool fit. Way better than the Scarlet Violet for sure. And I mean, it kind of looks like Scarlet Violet to me, which isn't a bad thing necessarily. The thing about Scarlet and Violet is it just looks so empty, and hopefully there's like this many trainers, or just people I mean, in the town, because Scarlet and Violet just felt like I was running around empty parking lots. Like, there was no flavor. Every building, every shop was just duplicated next to each other. It was no creativity, it felt like. This one, it looks like they have the good animation, I guess? The good art style of Scarlet and Violet, but hopefully it's not as lazy done. I don't think it's bad art style. I think Sword and Shield was cooler looking, to be honest. It's more Pokemon feeling, while this one they're trying to go more realistic, but it didn't work out because the Pokemon were realistic, but the buildings were like... Also, how far in the future is this going to be? Or is this even in the future? Is this directly before X and Y? I feel like they announced it was after, though. We'll read about it after. Sliggoo. Anything on this page? Can't read that. I like how we got just, like, people on the streets, though. Like, this is a Switch game. You gotta remember, they can't fill the streets with NPCs. But they've got a decent amount. Like, at least it feels alive, unlike Scarlet and Violet. But they're also, the whole game is in one city, so... I really am not a fan of these starters. Chikorita and Totodile. 2 Gen 2ers. And then we got Tepig, who's like Gen 5, I think. Is he? Yeah, Gen 5. It doesn't make sense. Why are we doing 2 of the same gen and then mixing it up with Tepig? I understand Cyndaquil was in the last Legends, but put Snivy here. Put Turtwig here. Put someone who doesn't have a Mega here that's not Chikorita. Or, the exact same thing for Totodile. Put somebody else here. Popplio. Piplup. Who's the other water guy? From, or I guess Tepig's here, so never mind. Well, that's what I'm saying. Why are they doing 2 of the same? They should be switching them up. So it's 1-1-1, just like the last Legends, instead of 2-1. You know what I'm saying? And overall, I feel like they just chose the starters people don't really like. A lot of people hate Chikorita. I'm not a Chikorita hater. I think it's fine. But hopefully they do it justice with the Mega. Tepig also very hated, but I also just don't hate it. And Totodile, everyone loves Totodile. Totodile's chill. Not really any thoughts in that guy's head, but hey. I don't know. I don't know why they would do that. I don't think they would since they already released a trailer announcing it basically, but I hope they just see all the complaints about this and are like, okay, we're gonna put Snivy instead or something. It's like, what? The Gen 2 thing just doesn't make sense. Also, I don't know how I feel about this. And this just confirms right here, you can kind of see it. This isn't like a full open world game. Like, you kind of have barriers that you have to like cut scene through. You gotta press a button so it like updates the scene because it's not open world. But I do think they did a good job at making it seem open world, because it seems like it pretty much just cuts over with little to no like indication of that. Like, you just walk through and it's like, okay, scene change, worse. It looked like the scene didn't even change, but it did, type of thing. This doesn't make sense to me. Why are there just sections for wild Pokemon rather than just Pokemon wild in the wild like always? They just decided to shut all these stores down and whatnot just for a place for Pokemon to be. I don't know. And why are we climbing on buildings? Like, hate that guy. That guy looks stupid. Pyro's cool. I also don't like that. Like, it's cool you can have your Pokemon dodge, but the fact that they're like sprinting behind you is so dumb. This is not like viable. This is not how it is in the anime. This is not how people imagine it. Like, the trainer has to run for his life too to not get hit by this flame. He is dodging for his life to get out of the way of this flame, and Lucario's following behind, which means he's going to be moving his flames exactly where Lucario's going. Towards me, the trainer. Like, you should just dodge, like Pokemon dodge. They don't follow their trainer. They don't hug their trainer's back to dodge. You know what I'm saying? Mega dope. Megas are just dope. Like I said, Crocodile would be a sick one to get a Mega. You can probably bet that Flygon's gonna get a Mega because everyone's been begging for it, and I guarantee they're gonna do it. ZA, sorry, I have a lot of complaints with Legends, to be honest, but this guy is like this cool dude who has lived for 3,000 years, 3,000 plus years, is immortal, and he's just a hotel owner. He's just a hotel owner now, like. And then people think this may be like online. It's a promotion match announcement. People are saying this might be like a hint that online battles are gonna be a thing. I really don't think so. Legends, the first one, Legends Arceus, did not have online battles. So I think following that trend, it's not going to have it either. And another reason is they showed it in a different trailer, but it just doesn't make sense for the battling. It just does not make sense to have online battling. And maybe I'll look dumb and it will have online battling. That would be cool. That would be cool. I'm not saying it's not. But I'm saying it's just, I don't think it's likely going to happen, to be honest. Like, it just doesn't seem like a viable, Yep. Just doesn't seem like a viable thing that Pokemon's going to do. I wish Pokemon just cared a little more. They're one of the highest grossing franchises or whatever. And they just give us bottom of the barrel.
Pokémon Legends ZA is a new title in the Pokémon series. The story takes place in Lumiose City, the largest city in the Kalos region.
It doesn't look bad, but it doesn't look good
Prism
for
Tower
being...
stands tall at the center of this city of beautiful vista.
Oh, nah. I didn't even notice this.
Prism
Wait a
Tower
sec.
stands tall at the center.
Oh, okay, this is one shop. I was like, no, they're duplicating again. But no, it looks like it's the same shop.
Of beautiful vistas.
Okay, let's watch this and break it down
These
again
days,
afterwards.
Lumiose is undergoing a high-tech urban redevelopment plan to turn it into a city that people and Pokemon truly share. After you arrive in Lumiose City to see the sights, you'll meet 3 Pokemon, one of which will become your first partner: Chikorita, Tepig, and Totodile. You'll choose one of these Pokemon to accompany you on a new journey as you get to know Lumiose City and its inhabitants. Here are some of the colorful characters you'll encounter. When you arrive in Lumiose, you'll meet a new friend and ally, either Urbane or Tawny. The hotel where you'll be staying is run by AZ. You'll also meet his partner, Floette. Lumiose's redevelopment is being managed by Quasartico Inc. You'll become acquainted with the company's CEO Jet and her secretary Vinny. The different people you meet will make your time in Lumiose all the richer.
Kind of like cool
to help people
like,
and Pokemon coexist, the city has set up
those
wild
flowers probably
zones.
don't even exist
These
anymore,
areas,
but they existed
located
back then.
Throughout Lumiose, give wild Pokemon habitats where they can thrive.
See, like it does like a little animation. It doesn't
Pokemon,
look like it's cut in, but
then throw a Pokeball.
I don't like that it bounces
If you're
like
having
that
a hard
either.
time catching one, have one of your Pokemon use its moves to weaken the target, making it easier to catch. This game offers a style of Pokemon battling not seen in previous
I hope you
titles.
can change the hair and stuff, because our
Moves
guy
can
looks
have
like
a longer or
dweeb.
shorter reach, or different areas of effect. So choose your timing and positioning carefully to gain the upper hand. Lead your partner Pokemon through battles and dodge incoming attacks. Swap Pokemon if you need to and find the right moment to unleash a move. What's more, certain Pokemon can go beyond evolution by undergoing Mega Evolution. When a trainer's keystone resonates with the Mega Stone held by their Pokemon, the Pokemon will do more than just change shape. It'll unlock a new level of power, turning the tide of battle in its favor.
I wish
As
we could
Lumiose
just get past this
continues
game
its
and go to Gen
transformation
10.
into a city that belongs to both people and Pokemon, who knows what kinds of encounters and experiences will await you.
I wish this wasn't considered main series game either.
Pokémon Legends ZA. Coming late 2025.
Alright. Oh my gosh, Miso, chill. It's the same thing. I didn't even notice that it was on both of them. Okay, let's break this down real quick.
Pokémon Legends ZA is a new title.
Like I said, doesn't look bad, but also Pokemon Company, you have so much money. And it looks like a PlayStation 2 game. Like, this looks like a really good PlayStation 2 game.
In the Pokemon series. The story takes place in Lumiose City, the largest city in the Kalos region. Prism Tower stands tall at the center of this city.
This doesn't look like PlayStation 2, I'll say that, but this is also just like a cutscene.
Of beautiful vistas.
Got the evolutions. Personally,
These
unpopular
days,
opinion, just don't care. These gates, I'm assuming the 4 means that's like, it's gotta be like a level, right? Like, level of Pokemon, like bigger, stronger Pokemon are in level 4 compared to level 1. I do think this is kind of cool though, how they have these like barriers that you go through, because they have like the barriers in Pokemon battles. So like if a move flies off into the crowd, they have barriers that are just like this that block. So this is actually like pretty lore accurate. Shout out Verlis Verlicify for giving me that knowledge, because I didn't even think about that until he said that, and I was like, okay, this actually isn't as garbage as it looks, because it does kind of look like they just made some bullshit up. But energy, force field type stuff, energy shields, they exist in actual Pokemon, so hey, at least they got something. Pat Rat, first game on the Switch that he's in. And what are we doing? Like, are you... I feel like these people in the back are going to be, like, random NPCs, but then we're going to see a lot of these, like, digital holo guys that you have to go up to, and these are going to be, like, the main, like, side quests, or maybe even main quests, but they're going to be the side quest guys that you go up to.
Redevelopment plan to turn it into a city that people and Pokemon truly share.
I just don't like that. That's a cute little scene.
People and Pokemon
Trubbish actually looking like this fits. This looks good. They look fine here. Like, this is cool.
Truly share.
Okay. It's a nice little area.
After you arrive in Lumio City to see the sights, you'll meet 3 Pokemon, one of which will become your first partner. Chikorita, Tepig, and Totodile.
I don't know who I'm going to get yet.
You'll choose one of these Pokemon to accompany you on a new journey.
Whoa. I feel like that had to be something, right? Oh, it's just a cafe, but this is probably going to be something. Like, the cafe is probably going to have some sort of relevance in the game. For one, because they keep showing it. I just realized they show the cafe like 6 times, I feel like. And they just had a clear shot running past the cafe. Or that's just bad news. They are duplicating the shops, which would suck. Hopefully there's only one of these specific cafes. I know this city is known for having cafes all over the place, but I really hope they're all different. I hope it's not copy-paste of all the same cafes around the whole place. But I think the cafes are going to have some sort of relevance.
You on a new journey as you get to know Lumio City and its
probably not something crazy.
To know Lumio City and its inhabitants.
But I think they're going to try and make it have some sort of relevance, like the subs or the curry. Alright, now let's talk about these characters real quick. Mid-rival, but thankfully I'm choosing a boy. So this is my rival, who's a little better looking, I guess. A little less dweeby. AZ pisses me off that he's just a hotel manager. Like, he just becomes, like... He's gonna be a comedy character, I feel like. Like, the whole... He's, like, 7 foot tall, 3,000 years old, and he just runs a hotel. They're gonna try and make this comedic, and look at his fit. Like, they just got him all goofy. Like, this girl looks like she's, like, pretentious. Probably, like, got some bad intentions. I think she's gonna be the main villain in the end. And then this dude, Verlicify, was also saying he's like one of the guys from Team Flare. I forget his name. It starts with an X. But I honestly disagree. And my reason for that is because I think she is related to someone. This is the Legends series. You gotta remember, they just make up characters and are like, okay, this guy's related to them. You gotta find out. You gotta piece it together. Oh, this guy's related to them. This guy's related to them. This guy's related... Let me see, actually, if I can look this up. We're at 49. Team Flare members. Okay. So this is who I'm talking about. This guy, I think, is related. It skips. I think they're related. I think this is like his son or maybe his grandson. But I do not think they're the same person. They look so different. And also, this guy looks older than this guy. Like, this guy looks old, but this guy looks older than this guy, in my opinion, at least. But, I don't know. His dad was a horrible person, or his granddad, or maybe even him, was a horrible person. And now he's like a good guy. I don't know. I think he's gonna be a good guy. So... I don't know. I think it's a descendant. I don't think it's actually this guy. And then this girl. I don't know about any of these characters. Maybe she's probably related to this dude. This guy's not even from Gen 5, but I don't think. Yeah, I don't think this dude's in Gen 5, but she's honestly probably related because they had in Legends Arceus, I think they had people outside of Sinnoh related too. So yeah, she is probably related to him in some way. Same thing, probably like a grandkid or a kid or something. But yeah. I don't think they're... I think it's... Dude, it's a Legends. Legends. A Legends is not like... When you think of like a legend, I don't even think future in general. I think far past. Like that's a legend. Like you think of legends of the past. I can understand them going super far in the future and being like, oh, this is future Legends. But it doesn't make sense for it to be like, oh, this was 10 years after X and Y story. That is not Legends to me. That is not a legend. Maybe their story could be legendary and they become a legend. Sure, but that's like, why are we calling it Legends if it's basically the same timeline? Or the same time period, sorry. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking too deep into it, but that's just me. I don't think it's like a couple years. It's either, and I'm pretty sure they announced it was after X and Y, but it's either a couple hundred years before. No, it's got to be after because ZA or AZ. I mean, AZ. Yeah, so it's after. So I'm saying it's got to be at least 1 to 2 generations after the story of X and Y.
Are some of the colorful characters you'll encounter.
Maybe a hot take. I don't know.
When you arrive in Lumiose, you'll meet a
Maybe
new
a hot
friend
take.
and
I don't
ally.
know.
Either Urbane or Tawny.
Screw you, Urbane.
The hotel where you'll be staying is run by
And
AZ.
he looks goofy. Does he have a tail?
Floette. Lumiose's redevelopment is being managed by Quasartico Inc. You'll become
Quasartico. What is the relevance
acquainted
of
with
that?
the company's CEO Jet and her secretary.
Once the games come out, there's going to be videos. Like, people are going to be making videos just explaining, like, oh, this guy's related to him, and her related to her, and or him, and the company's named this because of this reason, blah, blah, blah. Everything's going to get explained, like, as soon as the games come out. We kind of just got to wait at this point. It's all speculation.
The different people you meet will make your time in Lumiose all the richer.
But we can still have fun and guess.
To help people and Pokemon coexist,
look at this
city has set up
transition.
wild zones.
Also, wild zones, just a worse wild areas, so just a downgrade from Sword and Shield, but this is a main series game, so we're just going backwards, I guess. But the Pokemon look good, so that's all that matters.
These areas, located throughout Lumiose, give wild Pokemon habitats where they can thrive.
Little transition cut, but it doesn't really look like
Pokemon, aim carefully. Then,
I mean, that's probably the best way they can do it. Maybe it's like to save like storage space or something, like memory space. I don't know. I'm not a developer, so I don't know that stuff, but let's look around for the details too. So you got all your Pokemon. I like the like UI or whatever it's called, the HUD. Like you got all your Pokemon down here, Pokeball for throwing, a mini map. I like the visuals.
Have one of your Pokemon use its
How to Flaffy get on a roof
to weaken the target, making it easier to catch.
And it seems there's a cooldown on moves. You see this leafage here.
One, have one of your Pokemon
it's like recharging.
To weaken the target, making it easier to catch.
And XP.
This game offers a style of Pokemon battling not seen in previous titles. Moves can have a longer or shorter reach, or different areas of effect. So choose your timing and...
I think it would be way cooler if we got to just control where the Pokemon moved instead of moving our own guy. Because we should not be in the fight. This doesn't happen in Pokemon anime. Like, they're not getting involved in the fight like this. They're telling them what to do, which is what basically I would be doing if I'm in control of the Pokemon. That would be dope. Imagine you were playing as Lucario. You get to press the button, sure. Bullet Punch. Moonblast incoming. You control the Lucario by moving Lucario itself or dodging or something, or like blocking it maybe. But instead you run away as your character and then they just hug you and follow you behind.
The upper hand. Lead your partner.
Aren't Hippowdons like 3,000 pounds or something?
Pokemon through battles.
Like, look at this.
Pokemon through battles and
running from the flames. Running from the flames, and he is on my back.
Dodge incoming attacks. Swap Pokemon if you need to and find the right moment to unleash a move. What's more, certain Pokemon can go beyond evolution by undergoing Mega Evolution.
Crocodile.
When a trainer's keystone resonates with the Mega Stone held by their Pokemon, the Pokemon will do more than just change shape. It'll unlock a new level of power, turning the tide of battle in its favor.
Did I just see a power-up punch? Oh, maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I'm tripping.
As Lumiose continues...
Okay, they got little cafe stands even.
Its transformation...
I'm pretty sure that was like the same design as the cafe right here, so I think this is like a mini cafe.
Continues its transformation
like I'm telling you,
into
they're
a city
making
that
this
belongs
relevant.
to both people and Pokemon. Who knows what kinds of encounters and experiences will await you? And
Whoa, go back.
Pokemon, who knows what kind...
This is someone's office here. Probably the blonde-haired lady. But it's got like a kitchen. No, surely not. Surely it's not her. She's probably got something way more fancy.
Kinds of encounters and experiences will await you.
We get to just go on the rooftops and stuff, which makes me wonder, is it actually going to let us go in buildings? Unlike Scarlet and Violet, the game that every building was copy-pasted and you could not interact with anything. I hope it's not like that. I really hope it's not like that.
Pokémon Legends ZA.
Also cannot believe it's coming late 2025. Around the time GTA 6 is coming out. Like, if GTA 6 does not get delayed, who's playing Pokemon Legends ZA over that? I thought this was going to be a summer 2025. Release. Wait. Alright, that's everything. That is everything. Let's take a look at the website, though. If there's anything we gotta break down. The story is set in Lumiose City. Also kind of weird that it's just based on one city, but it looks pretty big based off this map view, so that's cool. Yeah, look at this. It's actually pretty huge looking based off this map. I don't know how big it's actually going to feel playing the game, but this doesn't look bad at all. This doesn't look like a $60 game to me, $70 game, which it probably will be. Looks more like a $40 game to me. But that's how it is. Pokemon squeezes every drop of money out of us and then gives us the least amount of effort for what they have. But that's okay. We got this building here. I have no idea what that is. I'm assuming this is the facility that blonde-haired lady works at. Cool, cool. Pokemon Center. Surprised the cafe's not here, actually. And you can see there's like shopping. Does it show any of these symbols on the map? It doesn't seem so. Doesn't seem so. Yep, more cafe pictures. Shopping center. Oh, does this mean we can actually put on these clothes? We can actually change our outfits. Cool little wild area, whatever they call it in this. Story begins with sightseeing trip to Lumio City. While visiting Lumio City during your travels, you'll come to stay in an old hotel named Hotel Z. This hotel will serve as your base as you and the new friends you'll meet in Lumios tackle all sorts of incidents that will occur in the city. Okay, so you show up from the train or whatever. First look at the city. Pop out. You gotta pop out at the Hotel Z. And then I guess this is our room. It's a pretty nice room, honestly. My question is, we're traveling? Is this like what type of traveling is this? Like, are we traveling the world? Are we traveling the region? Why do we not have a Pokemon already? Okay, wild zones, habitats for wild Pokemon as part of Lumios's urban redevelopment plan, driven by a large corporation called Quasartico. The city has been outfitted with wild zones in an effort to help humans and Pokemon share the city. These areas are constructed using cutting-edge technology to give Pokemon places to live. Within wild zones, you can battle Pokemon and catch them by throwing Pokeballs. Okay, so it seems more like a trap for the Pokemon in a way. So not only are you getting rid of these businesses and whatnot, anything that was going on here, an abandoned car even in the zone, so you can allow random Pokemon, which it is sectored off by level, which means they dropped in the Pokemon most likely. Like, they forcibly moved them to this area without their will. It's basically a petting zoo, except for you can interact with the zoo animals. But they're like forced to live there unless you want to catch them. So it's just like it's a cage that the Pokemon live in until a random little teenager or kid wants to go and catch them. Interesting. Because that's bringing Pokemon and humans closer together. I'm sure there's no better way they could have done that. That was sarcasm. Make Pokemon your allies. You can catch wild Pokemon living in wild zones or out and about in Lumio City. Sorry. And I'm assuming that means that these escape from the zones? I don't know. How would that work? I feel like they're all in the wild zones, but we'll see how that plays out. If the Pokemon doesn't pop back out of the ball, you've caught it. Some Pokemon will flee immediately if they spot you, so hide out of sight or approach from behind to make yourself harder to notice. That's a classic Legends feature. And also battle Pokemon to make them easier to catch. Pokemon series first. Pokemon and trainers take action in real time during battle. I've already talked a lot about my thoughts on this, so I'm not going to repeat myself once again. In previous titles in the Pokemon game, Pokemon took actions once per turn. In ZA, trainers and their Pokemon will move around in real time during battles. Should be just the Pokemon. Will unleash their moves when their trainers command them to. In addition to type matchups, there will be new gameplay mechanics to consider, such as the precise timing for swapping out your Pokemon or using moves. The different length of time moves will take to launch and how big and... Wait, what? Okay, so swapping out your Pokemon. Okay, so your moves recharging pretty much. And they probably all vary. And how big an area the moves will impact, because it can also hit Pokemon in the surrounding and maybe hurt yourself even. I don't know. There's some kinks they could definitely work out with that. I don't think they will because it's Pokemon, but hey, your character. After arriving in Lumiose for some sightseeing, you'll make new friends and tackle all sorts of incidents in the city. So you get to play as this drippy ass girl, but then get the horrible rival, where you play as this goofy, nerdy ass loser, and then you got a chill rival. But you can also change your outfit, so maybe you can make him cooler looking, but you gotta change the hair. At least change the hair, because that is not it, for one. The hat might have to go too, the fedora, but you can rock a fedora. You can make a fedora look good, but this hair is definitely not it. Alright, we already know about this. Kinda crazy in my opinion, but let's start Chikorita. The leaf on its head has a variety of uses. Chikorita can use a large leaf on its head to determine the temperature and humidity of its surroundings. It will also use this leaf to seek out warm places. Lightening the mood, even when the mood is hostile, Chikorita has a gentle personality. Well, at first, it may wave its leaf around furiously to keep its opponent at bay. Sweet fragrance wafts from the leaf, which will calm both Pokemon battles and create a cozy, friendly atmosphere in the end. I feel like Chikorita had a lot of personality in the show. Like, it would get, like, it's a sweet Chikorita, but when it's angry, and it shows that. Now Tepig, a ravenous glutton. Tepig uses its excellent sense of smell to find food. It loves to roast and eat berries, but sometimes it gets too excited and burns them to a crisp. Alright, Tepig is nimbler than it looks, uses speed to confound enemies, dodging their attacks with agility, launching fireballs from both nostrils. I didn't know that. When it catches a cold, its fire becomes pitch black smoke instead. If we're being for real, I'm likely gonna choose Tepig. As of now, I'm probably gonna choose Tepig, but honestly, I don't mind choosing any of the three. My big complaint is just 2 Gen 2ers. Like, it just doesn't make sense. That's my complaint. If Chikorita was Gen 4 or something, Gen 5, or Gen 6, not Gen 5, because Tepig's here. If it was a different gen, I would not be so annoyed. But it's just the fact that there's 2 Gen 2 starters for no reason. And then Totodile, a rowdy Pokemon that bites everything. No thoughts in this dude's eyes. Totodile is small, but it has a rough and tough personality. It won't hesitate to take a bite out of anything that moves within its sight. Its powerful, well-developed jaws are capable of crushing anything. Even its trainers must watch out, because Totodile will bite indiscriminately. Even its trainer must be careful. Okay, yeah, maybe I don't want this guy. He's gonna have a sick Mega. I hope they have final stages that are different too, because yeah, it's gonna be sick if they can Mega Evolve, which is very, very likely. But I hope they get a regional final form, just like in the Legends Arceus. Make sure not to... Okay. Urbane / Tawny. So we get mid versus chill, I guess. You'll make a friend who lives and works at Hotel Z. Okay, they work at Hotel Z. Supporting the owner however they can. They may come on strong at times, but they like helping people and Pokemon. They're quite skilled at Pokemon battles too. Doubt. The appearance you choose at the beginning of the game will determine, yeah. AZ is a man who stands over 9 feet tall. I thought it was 7, but that makes more sense because he's towering. He's the owner of Hotel Z and claims to be 3,000 years old. But wasn't he 3,000 years old in the X and Y? Maybe he's rounding. Maybe he's just rounding down. He quietly harbors a strong determination and will. Eternal Flower Floette. This unusual Floette looks different. She also said to live for 3,000 years. I think it's so cool that AZ is the only one that has this, and hopefully will ever have this. I hope they never make this a Pokemon available for everyone, because that would just ruin the allure of it for me. But now the one I think is the villain, Jet, the CEO of Quasartico, a large corporation driving Lumios's urban redevelopment plan. Again, I just don't agree with their plan. Like, it just seems kind of weird. It seems kind of shady. And then I already was kind of figuring she would be the villain secretly, so it kind of goes hand in hand. Gives a good argument for why she would be. It seems she hopes to deepen the bonds between people and Pokemon, is what she says. Vinny is a large man who wears sunglasses, works at Quasartico as Jet's secretary. He always seems busy and has a reputation for being a fast worker. And he probably is a good worker. He's probably a good guy. He's probably, unlike his father, grandfather, whatever that I was talking about earlier, probably a good dude in contrast to make up for those wrongdoings. And we got Zygarde. All three forms are shown here. Zygarde is made up... I only am just learning how cool Zygarde actually is, by the way. Zygarde is made up of multitude of cell-like components, and it changes form depending on how many of these components have gathered together. Its brain is made up of the few existing Zygarde cores, while the rest of its body is comprised of Zygarde cells, which are far more plentiful. It seems to have taken a special interest in you. What could its connection to this be? Hey, I feel like the legendaries recently are always like that. They're just like, oh, we can tell you have a good heart on you. What the hell? We can tell you have a good heart on you. We're gonna make you our breaking point, I guess, to stop the evil. But yeah, we saw the 10% form in the trailer, so that's probably what we are going to meet in person. This form is probably going to be shown when the Jet shows her true colors and is trying to capture it and then turn it into complete form, and we have to stop it from rampaging or something. We're going to have to stop it. But it's grown a special interest to us, so it's possible that we can't stop it, type of thing. That's my guess. But yeah, this thing is actually super sick, because it can split up its like pieces, its cells or whatever, you know? And I was like, always like, that's cool, I guess. Like a interesting concept, but kind of annoying that you have to collect them in every game that it exists. But apparently they act as like, almost like a hive mind, I believe. Like it all the info goes back to them. They all share the same like knowledge and stuff. And this is like the protector of like the ecosystem. So they're kind of keeping an eye on. They're like security cameras in a way. And when they notice that something's awry, something's amiss, something needs fixing, that's when 10% form may come out, or 50% form, or if it's that bad, 100% complete form. Let's talk about the 10% though. 10% of its cells have gathered. You get this dog form. Has sharp fangs and runs across the land at speeds greater than 60 miles per hour. When Zygarde needs a fight, its cores call for the cells scattered across the land to gather, and then Zygarde transforms into this form. Now 50%. This is Zygarde's form. When about half its cells have gathered, it serves as the protector of the ecosystem that Pokemon live in, monitoring them. So yeah, the cameras all go back to the source, which is the 50% form. Like they're monitoring, all the info goes here. It can change into an even more powerful form when battling those who threaten these ecosystems. And now we talk about the 100% complete form. It uses its overwhelming power to suppress those who endanger the ecosystem. From the orifice on its chest, it radiates high-powered energy that can eliminate everything. Its 4 wings and its tail can freely change shape to play a variety of roles. I didn't even know that. That's dope. Can it fly too then? I truly don't know. Okay, we know how megas work. We don't really need to read over this part. It does show the megas that are in here so far. So we got Mega Gyarados, Charizard. Charizard X and Y probably means Venusaur and Blastoise. Megas are in here. Mega Kangaskhan. Never been a fan. Mega Ampharos. Could have been cooler. Same as Mega Gardevoir in my opinion. Mega Sableye pretty dope. Mega Lucario's dope. Mega Absol's dope. Mega Altaria's dope. And yeah, that's Pokemon Legends ZA. After, I think, over a year, we finally got our first trailer, and this is what we got. Hopefully more trailers are going to start dropping now that we have kind of a release time frame. But, yeah. I mean, I'm a little excited. I'm not going to lie. I'm a little excited. If it's a Switch 2 exclusive game, I don't know if I'm going to get it just because I'm not super interested in the Switch 2. Like, on release, I mean. I'll probably end up getting it eventually, but as of right now, I don't really see a need for it. So, yeah, that's kind of going to determine my excitement for it, because even, I don't know, man. I probably won't get Legend ZA, period, honestly, if it's only a Switch 2 game. So, that's kind of where I stand on it. So, we'll see if that happens. If not, oh well. We're going to keep watching the trailers, getting excited or whatever. But, yeah. I hope they fix the problems that people are saying. I hope they actually listen to what people are saying, because there's a lot of complaints out there. A lot of good too, of course, but I just hope they listen to their fans, what they gotta say. But it's Pokemon. Don't get your hopes up. Don't get your hopes up.